we're grateful that you are here. I invite you to do something. I invite you to go get a candle. We're going to light a candle. I'm going to ask Michael later on to light the candle. And I'd like you to have a candle there that you can light at the same time. So as you're preparing yourself, your mind, your heart, and your consciousness to join us energetically and spiritually, go get that candle right now. We'll get started here in about 6 minutes. About 5 minutes. We're just going to set an intention. And again, for those who didn't hear me earlier, go get yourself a candle to light. We're going to use a Karen Drucker song to set the foundation for what we're going to do today. So, blessings and gratitude to Karen Drucker for this beautiful song, There Is Only Love. I invite you to sing it with me as we prepare our minds and our hearts for the day. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is sets us free. There is only love. If you're tuning in to join our broadcast, one more time I'll let you know. Go get a candle. We're going to light a candle. And when Michael lights the candle, we're going to invite you to light that candle that is with you. As a symbol of the one light and love that is uniting all of us. We'll be starting in just a moment. I remember who I am. is only love. One more time, sing with me. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. Well, our clock says 11:15, so we're going to get started. On behalf of the entire Unity North Ministry, welcome to our stream. It's an unusual time. I'm here today with Reverend Averill Loy, and I'm here with Michael Burke, our poet laureate. We got such great comments about what we've been doing here with the streaming. I'm Reverend Richard Burdick, for those that don't know me, and we welcome you. We welcome you into this space, into our hearts. And I want you to know that our board of directors and our staff and our chaplains have been making phone calls. I don't know if you felt it, but there's been a lot of anxiety out there, a lot of concern and worry. And above all, there's been a lot of kind of loneliness, a sense of isolation. So this is an opportunity today for each of us to transcend that feeling of isolation and absolutely unite. We don't have to be in the same room at the same time in order to connect. And so our intention today, all of us, is to let the songs, the meditations, the poem, the words absolutely take us into the place of truth as we remember we belong to each other. We belong to each other at a deep place that transcends all of these viruses and all of these emotions and feelings. We're going to light a candle right now. I'm going to ask Michael to light that candle there. And then Averill is going to pray us into this time. I invite you to open up your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your soul to receive her words and to be fully present to this now moment. As that candle has been lit or is being lit by Michael, we invite you to light the candle in front of you at home as well.
I invite you at this time to close your outer eyes. Let your awareness descend from the busyness of the mind to the wisdom of the heart. And just pause in this moment and feel that as we surrender into the heart space, we can feel our connection from heart to heart, out from the computer, out from your home, across the street and around the world. We are connected. We're not alone. And this candle, it's a symbol of the eternal light that connects us and unites us as one. Wherever we are, that light is burning and giving us access to each other through our hearts and spirits. And we know, a deep knowing, that together today, that the light is only one phone call or one email or text away. We call upon the divine energies of patience, temperance, as we continue to find our way through our current conditions. Know that we are the right person, and we are in the right place, and we are at the right time, just where we are right now, to make a difference and extend this light to the entire world. For this opportunity to make a difference and to be the truth, we say, Amen.
Thank you, Averill. That's beautiful. And what a beautiful affirmation to know that we are the right person at the right place at the right time. You know, many people have been talking about, gosh, I would love a phone call. I would really appreciate the phone call, or I did appreciate the phone call or the email or the text that came through. And it made me think, let's be the right person at the right time, and let's be the one that makes the phone call. The way we can be connected is when that person crosses your mind, that you may be waiting for the phone to ring or that your phone to have a text on it, you be the first one to take that step. You be the one that is the right person at the right time. So we have another wonderful song, a Daniel Nahmod song. That's our challenge, our absolute challenge, to be the first one to reach out and to let those that you love in your community and those in your family, those around the world, know that you are here with them. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. Yes, my soul is welcome here. See, our souls are welcome. Whatever's going on right now in your life, it's a place of welcome because God is waiting to absolutely unite with us as we take those steps. Sounds like this. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Together, I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Last line. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. And so we want each of you to know that your soul is welcome here. Whether you be somebody who's feeling isolated at home, who's a member of the church, member of our community, or whether you're tuning in for the very first time, we want you to know that your soul is welcome within our soul. Your heart is welcome within our heart. It's a place of namaste. It's a place of connection and oneness that it transcends all of it. Just a few announcements before we get into the talk that the three of us are going to share a little bit about. We want to let you know that we have absolutely temporarily suspended all in-house services. They are not going to be happening for an indefinite amount of time. We're just going with the flow of what the state and the nation, the government, and the world is doing to make sure that we're all safe. So we're going to continue to be here every Sunday. We'll be here every Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed the time with Michael and I this last Wednesday. So 11:15 every Sunday, and then 7 o'clock on Wednesday. And I want to let you know that we're creating ways to connect as well. Today, Reverend Julie is going to be leading a dialogue on Zoom at 1:30. And we want to make sure that if you have something to say about what we're going to talk about here in a moment, that you tune in on that Zoom call. You can get the information on Facebook. You can get it on our website, and check in with any one of us if you don't have that information. We'll get you connected.
On Saturday mornings, I also lead meditation, and now I'll be sharing that. We've had Saturday morning sunrise yoga meditation for several years, and we were testing it out to see how it worked on Zoom in my little Zoom room. But I will connect with Richard this week and post it on Facebook. So if you feel like getting up early, finally on Saturday morning, you don't even have to leave your own home. You can do meditation with me.
Perfect. And Mike Marinelli is doing the same thing on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. There's opportunities to connect, so just keep reaching out. Be that one that makes that call. We do want to let you know that our annual meeting, which was scheduled for next Sunday, has been postponed until the third quarter of the year. Stay tuned for details. But we want to let you know that you can get all of the reports. They're going to be online. Diane has been working really diligently to collect all those reports. I think mine might be the last one, but it'll be in her hands tonight. But all those reports will be there, and it's an opportunity to vote. We have some new board members coming in. We're saying goodbye to Vilma and to Laura and their service, and we're grateful today for their service to this community. And we've got new board members coming in, and we need 50 people, 50 members to vote. Check the Facebook, check the email, check the website. It's all on there of how you can vote for two. You get 2 votes, and there are only 2 candidates, but you can also write somebody's name in. So if you'd like to write somebody in, you can do that as well. But check out all the information. The last announcement I want to make is that we're still doing trips around the sun. You know, we're celebrating, Unity North is celebrating 20 years in this magnificent building that the three of us are sitting in right now, and a few people out there. And we're doing trips around the sun. As many times, as many birthdays as you have had, we're asking you to make a special birthday gift to Unity North. And so that's above and beyond the tithing that we ask you to do, above and beyond your consistent giving, and above and beyond your normal giving to this community. It's a great way to say, wow, I really value this place, and I love this place. And so please feel free to do that. So, Michael, how are you doing? How are you traversing these waters and all of the tension that might be in the air?
I'm doing well. I'm keeping with my sound, and that has really been a savior for me through all of this. And
for those who don't know what you mean dealing with your sound.
I'm a sound therapist, so to stay with playing sound through bowls and gongs and bells and some chanting and so forth, I keep very, let's say, a harmonic balance attained. And I like to share that with others. So I miss being able to share that at a lot of the centers where I do it, and some of the public events, of course, have just been called off. But I find that if we can share the energies that we think are contaminating to one another, then it's also true that we can share energies that bolster one another, that boost one another.
I love when we talked earlier today, getting ready for the service, when you said that your vibration is a part of the solution. That
Yes.
the vibration of your mind, your heart, and your spirit is actually part of the healing process.
Yes.
That's beautiful. April, how about you? How are you getting through that? I bet you're meditating.
I am. You know, truth be told, I, as a person, inclined to anxiety. And that was one of the reasons for, I think, my falling in love with yoga as a meditation practice, with very traditional yoga meditation, because I realized that I was like, oh, I like my mind when it has this behind it. So managing anxiety has been challenging for me. But another thing that I have been doing is a lot of exercising. And it's really been interesting to see everybody walking. Like, I have seen more people out of their vehicles in East Cobb than I have in all the years that I've lived here.
I love it.
And I hope that we keep that up. I think, Sarah and I hiked 7.9 miles yesterday.
Wow.
And Blood Mountain was so full that we actually had to park a half a mile away from the trailhead. Everybody just wanted to get, and everybody was like this on the trail.
6 feet away from each other.
And letting people pass, but it was beautiful. What a way to worship.
It's a wonderful way to worship. Even the distance is a way to really behold somebody, to see. Now, we're not exactly 6 feet apart, but we have the activity of God working here. I got some exercise yesterday, and I was thrilled to get outdoors and playing pickleball. Al Mango, who's a member of our team here, has a pickleball in the back parking lot. A little harder to keep that 6 foot distance, but we were disinfecting the pickleballs and the paddles and the net and everything about it, and it was really good to just get into our bodies.
We did that with all the hiking stuff. It was like spray.
And once again, that energy you speak of when y'all play pickleball, that energy, you can really boost the immune system by eliminating stress and anxiety during any particular moment. That can spread to all moments.
A lot of people have been asking, what is the why? Give us a why. In the board meeting this week, somebody said, give us the how-to. Well, there's your first how-to. Get into your body. Get physical. Let the body knows exactly what to do to have an immune system that is protected from anything. And we awaken those cells within our body when we just get active. It's a symbol to the universe and to our vessel. All is well. All is well.
Recently, a friend sent me an article about Dr. Fauci and how he is a runner, an avid runner. So I think that's important that the person who's spearheading this is a living testimonial. And then, I'm an epidemiologist, and someone also sent me an article about someone who started exercising in their 80s and by 90 was running marathons. So one of the correlations with this disease trajectory, if you do have corona, is that they say people with compromised immune systems or underlying health conditions, but also at a particular age. But the particular age is also correlated with people tending not to take as good care of themselves. So go for a walk after you're done with us today.
So today, you're going to have a lot of suggestions of things that you can do to keep the connection, to keep well, to keep centered, to keep the anxiety at bay, all different ways to do that. I tend to like humor. And I came up with some kind of corny, ridiculous jokes to get us started into the topic that we're going to talk about. But I'm finding it kind of interesting. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. I feel like I've got an angel and a devil on my shoulder, and they're talking to me, and I'm going to be a little bit moving around. Good thing I've got a chair that will move back and forth. But I thought it would be kind of fun to tell a few jokes just to lighten, because that's what I use. I use humor to lighten the mood and to transcend whatever is up. And so I asked Michael, the devil on my left, to start us off, and then April's going to continue on the right.
And you went angel to your right and devil to your left. That's what you just did, right? Oh. How many Unity North members does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know. How many Unity North members does it take to change a light bulb?
None.
None.
Change must come from within.
Wah, wah. All right, April, what do you got?
How many Unity North members does it take to change a light bulb?
Tell me.
2. 1 to screw it in, and 1 to observe how the light bulb itself symbolizes a single incandescent beacon of subjective reality reaching out toward a cosmos of infinite possibility.
I feel so holy now. I feel so sacred now. Give me another one, Michael.
How many church congregants does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
None. If God wants the light bulb to be changed, she will do it herself.
Oh.
Well, if it was church congregants, it probably is a he. Because how many Unity North congregants does it take to change a light bulb?
Tell us. I'm sure you've got an answer.
10. 1 to actually change it, and 9 to say they could have done it better.
Ouch, 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 ouch. So we're going to get into the talk, but I do want to let you know that there's an official decree from the Unity North minister and the ministry staff that I'd like to share with you right now. We neither affirm nor reject the use of a light bulb. If you have found a light bulb helpful on your journey, that is good. If one would wish, you could submit an original poem, an interpretive dance, or a beautiful song about your light bulb experience, or your light source, or your non-dark resources for the annual light bulb celebration, where a variety of light bulb traditions will be explored for all our valid paths to luminescence. Yes. So, tool number 2, number 1, get into your body. Number 2 is just laugh a little bit. Have some fun with this. Don't forget to not take life so seriously. Angels fly because they don't take life so seriously. So using that idea of a light bulb, it is a universal symbol of, I get it. I get it. I've got it now. The dawning of an awareness, especially if one has kind of been in the dark a little bit, living in the dark. It's a symbol of I finally have it, whether it be I get the joke, I get the gist of your meaning, I get the drift. But in the case of our spiritual path, could it be that, I get the divine idea. I finally gotten the truth. We've all had those moments, those epiphanies, those revelation moments where it's like, I could have had a V8. The light bulb goes off. It's kind of like the old song, I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. The light bulb goes off. I want you to think today of the universe, the cosmos of God, sort of like your parents. How many people out there, I'm sure you guys can remember when you were a teenager and your parents would say, maybe you are the parent of a teenager, and as a parent you say something over and over and over and over and over and over again, and the teenager just doesn't get it. They just don't get it, and then all of a sudden one of their friends says the exact same thing that you've said 3,000 times, and they act as if they've never heard it before. And as a parent, you sit there a bit exasperated, your hands on your face until now. We don't touch your face anymore. But that exasperated parent, but with a little wry grin that says, finally, my child has gotten it. They couldn't hear it through me, but they heard it through their friend.
Sometimes they don't hear it until they're 25, get married, and have their own baby. And then they come back, like I did to my parents, and say, I get it.
Oh, Chris and Yvonne,
get
are you
it.
hearing that? She's finally got it now that she's 20 years old.
Now that I'm 20. Now that I'm $25 for my trips around the sun.
I want you to think about God, the universe, as this great parent figure. The truth is always available to us. It is constantly speaking from within us. All the answers we could ever want, all the wisdom we could ever want. Hey, we got slides. You did it, Wes. Great job. Wes is a part of the team today, and we didn't think we were going to have slides today. But to think of this universe that you live in as this great parent, and all the information we could ever desire to get through whatever life throws at us, whether it be a pandemic or just a difficult day, it's there. And we don't get it, and we don't get it, and we don't get it until the right person at the right time simply shows up in the right place and says it in a way that's like, oh, the light bulb goes off. New Thought churches are expressing the same truths everywhere. But we find the place that resonates with us, the community that says it just the way we need to hear it in order for the truth to be revealed. Now, I don't think that God gets exasperated. We don't teach that kind of God. There's not an exasperated parent figure. But I do believe on the proverbial metaphorical face of the infinite that there is a wry little grin. There's a little pleasure in, wow, my child finally got it. The universe has a little bit of happiness, and God saw that it was good and called it good. Today, the talk title is Getting It. Getting It. It's the fourth in a series that we have been in, a 5-part series. Next week will be the last part. And week 1, we got over it. Week 2, we got down to it. And week 3, we got in front of it. Today, we are simply getting it. So we need to define what it is. It could be 1,000 different things. It right now could be the life that you're living and how you are relating to what is up in the universe. Using humor, using physicality to get through it. That's what it is for you today. In week 1, it was the light bulb moment of realization that carrying any unresolved issues, any resentment, any unforgiveness, any souvenir of hell wasn't necessarily a good way to build the life that we want. And so when you're home alone feeling lonely, take it as a moment to sit on a pillow and forgive everybody everything. Charles Fillmore said that's the remedy to all of life's problems, to sit down for 20 minutes every day and forgive everybody everything. So it was forgiveness in week 1. In week 2, it was the light bulb moment of realization that all the energy of the universe has been placed in our hand, that we have the ability to dip our fingers into the soil, the substance of God, and to create the reality that we want to experience. We don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. So it was the realization that we are responsible for our lives and can make life what it can possibly be. And so the question during this pandemic time and this time of isolation is, what are you doing with the substance that's been placed in your hand? What are you doing with the energy of God that's been placed in your hand? Week 3 was the light bulb realization that I am fully and completely responsible for planning my life. The life I want to live tomorrow, I want to live next week and next year and 10 years from now. This is a breeding ground right now, where you are at home feeling disconnected perhaps or having anxiety. You are creating a reality if you allow that anxiety to live within you. Find any method you can to release it and let it go. Because you are getting in front of life. You are getting in front of what's going to happen when this pandemic is done and we're all back to normal life. Hopefully we're not back to normal life, but we are back to a more full, a more rich, a more beautiful, a more connected life with the presence of God within us and with each other. I think that there's going to be great benefit on the other side of this, that we're going to feel more connected. And my hope and my prayer to get in front of it is that I don't go to sleep again. I don't lose it again. You want to say something?
I feel the same. I have such gratitude for, we always say have gratitude. We always say it, and we think we're doing it, especially people who are coming to Unity North, especially people doing this work. But I really think this just took my gratitude to an amplified level, just for a walk, for my clean living room, for toilet paper. Like I don't think I had thanked on my gratitude list for toilet paper ever. before.
So there's a third tool there that we're going to get into a little bit later, but the reality is the two most important and powerful words on the planet in the English language, thank you. Thank you. So get physical, have some fun with the moment, and be grateful. Maybe this is the moment that gratitude journal you've been wanting to start actually gets started. That the practice of being thankful before your feet hit the floor in the morning actually begins during this time. And before you go to bed, just reflect on all the people that are important to you, and then make that phone call to feel that connection. You know, often people think the dream arrives, the relationship arrives, the job that I've been looking for arrives, and here I am. And we think, okay, now the work is done, the work is complete. That's a very dangerous place, because that means we could go unconscious and we could actually lose that which we have manifested and created in this realm. I've seen too many heroes movies. I've read too many heroes books to know that the book isn't ending until that jewel has been placed in the king's hand or been brought back to the kingdom, integrated into our life, that we're staying awake. The hero has gone into the cave, confronted the darkness, slayed the dragon that was the block between them and the jewel, grabbed the jewel, has exited the cave, and that moment of consciousness or unconsciousness can determine a whole lot of things. Inadvertently, the hero that goes to sleep, and it happens, trips over a rock, trips over a crack in the soil, or trips over their own shoelace, and the jewel goes spilling off over the edge of a cliff. The dream, the vision, the building that we're celebrating could easily go off the edge of a cliff, and we have to start the whole process over again if we don't stay awake. Put one foot in front of the other to make sure that the job, the relationship, the dream, and what we have learned is being integrated into the system. And so getting it requires a great deal from us. And we're going to go through some of those steps and tools today about what getting it actually requires of us. And I'm going to raise my seat. Have you noticed that my seat is getting lower and lower? I'm sinking into the ground. There we go. It'll probably dip as we go, but I'll just raise it. Pay no attention to the man behind the piano. So first and foremost, Avril started that first tool. Getting it requires being thankful. Michael, just tell us what you're thankful for today.
I am thankful for, well, there's a little bit to be thankful for about a lot of bit of things. There's driving over here, very easy to get to and from, not much traffic, park right in front of the front door.
We all had the best parking spaces today.
These are little things, but that is the attitude of gratitude. To keep that going lets you notice more. When you start to notice, more things come into your vision to notice. Like my car seems to be running better, I think, because the air is cleaner.
Have you noticed how beautiful the air is?
Yeah.
It is absolutely incredibly clean. It's gorgeous.
And I hear more, and I'm a sound therapist, so I listen quite a bit. I love the power of listening, and lately, the bird songs, the nature songs, everything just seems more alive. It's because we're noticing it. It has always been there, but to be thankful for that, it's like, hey, don't forget me when you get back to that regular life.
I've really enjoyed the bird songs as well, and I've got a sparrow that's desperately trying to get into my window right now. He's just pecking, and I have a little conversation with him every morning as I'm sitting at home with my coffee, and I'm using that sparrow as my reminder to appreciate the beauty. Those windows are gorgeous. They look out on trees that are blooming, birds that are singing, and it's like, you know what? We can use this time to be isolated, to feel isolated, or to feel more connected with a sparrow, with the bloom on the tree, with the nature, with the people that we're talking to on the phone. And thank you is inevitably the most important aspect of keeping that connection. It says in the book of Genesis, on the seventh day, God rested. Now, we don't believe in a God that needs to take a nap at the seventh day because they've worked so hard. Okay, I got to take a nap. But we do believe in the energy and the spirit and the divine idea of gratitude. On the seventh day, that infinite presence of life saw that it was really good and just took a moment to reflect and go, isn't life wonderful? Oh, it's got challenges. We can do the same thing. It's got challenges. That sparrow's probably got a few challenges pecking at his reflection in the window. But the reality is there is beauty to be found. And we need to take the moment, the seventh day, not to be bored. I've heard that. There's no such thing as being bored unless you're a boring person. And none of you are boring. It's to find the avenues through which you can be grateful for the bed you slept in last night, the car that you got into, the family that you get to enjoy while you're at home, the church community that's finding ways to stream to you and to keep that eternal flame lit and connected. So another tool is to be grateful. Let's just do a little review because I like to make it real clear as I sink down farther into the floor here.
You did go down again.
The universe is trying to tell me something. Humble yourself. Get physical. Enjoy life. Laugh a little bit. And be grateful.
And it helps us notice the quiet things, There's a woodpecker that comes around here quite a bit during second service. And we always notice him. But how much do we notice the quieter sounds, the other sounds? We don't, because that one grabs us. So just like what's happening in life right now, it's helping us notice the quieter things that we really did let pass by. And now it's bringing them to our attention. And in that, gratitude.
So, and we're going to do that at 12 o'clock sharp around the whole world. At 12 o'clock, we're going to stop wherever we are in our service today, and we're going to take 2 minutes to unite with people. I think it's 4 o'clock Greenwich time, but people all over the world are absolutely getting still and quiet. And then we'll resume what we're going to do. But let's get to our second point, because we're getting close to noon already. It requires getting conscious. Getting it requires being conscious. The hero that falls asleep will absolutely drop the jewel. The hero that realizes that the adventure is not over until that jewel is placed into the hands of the king, that the whole world might be blessed. We are called in these times to stay fully conscious, to be awake to the laboratory between your ears. This is what I'm thinking. Is this what I want to give access to my mind? No. So I stay conscious. We must be present to the feelings and the possibilities in the center of this pandemic, because both exist. Possibilities that could be wonderfully positive, and possibilities that could be not so positive. You got the angel and the devil. I got 2 angels. I'm lucky. But reminding you to stay present. Jesus, our master teacher, said this very counsel. He talked to his apostles when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane. And on the hero's journey, this is what Jesus had to say. Do we have that slide, Wes? There we go. Let's read this together. When he came back to his disciples, he found them sound asleep. And he said to Peter, "Can't you stick it out with me a single hour? Stay alert." The Christ is speaking to us in this moment of trial and anxiety. Jesus had it, but he's asking all faculties of our being, the 12 apostles that live within us, stay awake. You see, Jesus, on his hero journey, was bringing 12 other people. In fact, he was bringing the entire human race upon his journey with him, because it was the training ground for those 12 men and all the women that got written out of the Bible. It was a training ground to stay alert, to stay awake, to be present to the energy that we are putting into play by what we are thinking, expressing, feeling, and claiming. He wanted the resurrection at the other side of this, not just for his physical being, but for the resurrection of the spiritual being of those 12 apostles. The resurrection of the spiritual being of the entire human race. And so this is an opportunity to get really, really busy with being conscious, with being awake, with being present to whatever is up in our field. And so I'm going to ask you then to get on the phone, because he was paying it forward. Jesus was paying it forward. He was passing the energy and the truth on to others. Have you ever noticed that if you want to learn something at the greatest level, teach it? You want to learn something, go teach it to others. Pass on the jewel into the hands of the kingdom of God that is waiting to hear from you. So make the phone call. Write the email. Put the text out to those people that I'm thinking about you. Getting it requires paying it forward. We teach and know here at Unity that there is no private good. My good is not separate from your good. We are intrinsically entwined with each other in a great tapestry of life. And so getting it requires sharing it. Requires giving it away. The jewel has been found. But if it is held, If it is held and hoarded only for myself, what good is it? The dream, the vision, the relationship must have a greater purpose than just my own private good. It must be shared.
And don't let fear hold you back. You know, as I'm sitting here, there's like about 20 people I am going to call. And I'm not using the language I need to call. I'm going to call. And trust me, if you are thinking about them, they are thinking about you. And maybe they're just afraid. And it doesn't even matter why you didn't talk for the last 20 years. That's just more barrier. I spoke to my friend in Italy 2 nights ago who I hadn't spoken to other than like little Facebook things for 20 years.
Wow.
20 years.
What took you so long?
Coronavirus in Italy. I just wanted to see that he was okay. And he was like, thank you. You know, I'm so glad to hear from you.
And what I know is that you could have been sitting in your home. Why haven't they called me for 20 years?
Exactly.
Why haven't
It
they
didn't
called me? They
matter.
haven't made any effort to connect
Nobody
with me.
said that. Nobody cared. It was just, oh, I love you.
Could it be I love you is a tool to get through this pandemic? Thank you. I love you. I was thinking about you. I appreciate you. Such simple ideas. But yet, like the light bulb joke that Averill read, we can complicate the journey to luminescence, the journey to enlightenment, and it's somebody else's responsibility. We get to take full and complete responsibility with what is up, and that means paying it forward. That means asking the question, how can I share it, this great it that I have received, with others? How can it benefit the world? How can I use it to make the world a better place? Spend some time there. When you find yourself being bored, that's a list that is endless, that will continue forever. You can fill 3, 4, 5 years, let alone weeks, knowing this truth. Martin Luther King Jr., one of my heroes, said it clearly when he said, use me, God. Use me, God, for a purpose greater than myself. In this moment, you can think only about yourself. You're on a hero's journey, and there's moments when you need to do that. But you can think about the world and how you can be the conduit for change. You can be the conduit for healing. Just as Michael said earlier, he's raising his vibration and then sharing that vibration with others so that the world gets through this and that it is so ingrained in us that there's a change that has happened in the midst of the dark night of the soul that will never go back to being the same way again. You know, in March, Unity North is celebrating this building that has housed us for 20 years. This building stands not because of it's a building or it's got money, but because it stands for something. It's a community that figured out what the divine ideas of what this building represented. It represented community. It represented family. It represents learning. It represents growth. It represents healing and purpose, 1,000 different things. This building only exists because we were connected to the divine idea of what the building was for. This ministry only exists because we understand at a deep level what it is the ministry is for. Our purpose for being. Why do we exist? And when we live in the why of we exist and pay it forward, give those divine ideas away, nothing can keep this building from being here for the next 20 years. Nothing can keep it from being maintained and sustained, which is a part also of the hero's journey, a part of what is necessary to make sure that getting it is still it 20 years from today. So we finally get to the final component. Let's do a little review. Get in your body. Get physical. Laugh a little bit. Have some fun. Say thank you. Regularly express thank you. And remain conscious to the energy that you're playing and that you're putting into play. And then share it. Share that energy by actively paying it forward. And then you've got to maintain it. You know, when you finally get it, it actually takes as much work, if not more work, than it was to get to it to begin with. And I think so many people are like, oh, I'm done, I'm complete, I got the dream, I got the relationship, I got the job, and then it goes away. It doesn't work that way. Let me go back to the metaphor of our building that we celebrate this month. There are a lot of heroes that built this building, and I am forever, ever grateful for those who sweat finances, their time, their energy, all that equity made this building stand. But today, I must be equally as gracious and grateful, which is what we were going to celebrate. This was supposed to be the big Sunday vision casting for the new year. We'll do that when Carol can join us from Florida and come up here and be with us. But I'm grateful today for all those who have maintained this building, who have sustained this building with their sweat equity, their cleaning equity, their time energy, their consciousness equity. You see, there are people that nurtured not only the physical structure, but the physical consciousness of Unity North. It's one thing to put the dream up, but if we didn't maintain and sustain this building, and we didn't maintain and sustain the consciousness that put this building into play, it wouldn't be here today. And so I'm really, really grateful for every staff member, every volunteer, every board member, every person who ever put $1 into a basket or texted online. I am grateful for you. And in this time, I get a chance to reflect in my Sabbath time and go, thank you. How blessed am I that I reap the benefits of those people? How blessed am I that the heroes have offered so much in our ability to still have this place and to have streaming going on. We had streaming with our kids today. The kids were streaming. The teenagers are streaming later this afternoon. That all comes because somebody paid it forward. That all exists because somebody said, I'm investing in this, and I'm saying that I appreciate this place enough that I'm going to put it forward. That same principle applies to your individual life, your individual dream. It's easy to see at a grand scale of a spiritual community in a building, but getting it means just absolutely maintaining your life. Once you have that relationship, give everything you can every day, every moment to keep it at the high vibration, the high level that Michael was talking about earlier. And that means just simply saying thank you more readily. You guys want to comment on that as I raise my stool?
No, I was enjoying it.
Enjoying it. Is it possible that that's another tool? Here we are. It's interesting. But beyond it's interesting, I'm enjoying. I get to be my house. I often say all the time, I wish I could see my house more. I'm always away from my house. Well, here I am in my house more. Maybe I can just enjoy it. Enjoy the house. Enjoy the life that I have built. Enjoy the opportunity. I made a whole bunch of phone calls to connect with people. I'm enjoying this seat right now as I dip down and dip down.
Because it's teaching us about presence. Yes. Because many of us are not present in the moment, and we teach that in the Unity Principle a lot, and it's hard to do that, to truly be present with each step, with each breath. But this time is allowing us, like we were saying about talking to an old friend, well, it's been so long since we talked and all that. All that takes you out is the moment you were actually talking. Like we spent the whole time talking about how long we hadn't talked. Yeah. No, don't do it. Be present. So this is really reminding us of that. That's
so practicing the presence, could that be something we could actively, proactively be doing right now with however long we're going to be in quarantine? We're practicing presence. And let me tell you, if we can practice it in this great gift of time that we've been given, that presence will be brought into the world when we're done, because it will be integrated at such a place that now I can be present with Averill more than I was before this whole journey, present with Michael more than I was before.
We say in yoga tradition that meditation is practice for real life. You sit in this beautiful, quiet space and allow your thoughts to flow in front of you and make a choice to be a dispassionate witness so that you ultimately are not a slave to your mind, and you can move through that into the silent awe of your divine nature, of the truth of your being. Well, we're being given this opportunity to see if any of that work really has worked. We've been working at this.
You're calling this an opportunity. I am too. What we have before us is an opportunity, and Marianne Williamson put out there that at 12 o'clock we're going to join with people all over the world. And I think that we've got quite a few tools that are out there. I just want to ask you, what is your system of maintenance? What is your system of sustaining that great good when it falls into your hands? To know that it is not just one moment. It is not just one accumulation. It is a new state of being, a new way of of being, a new way of practicing the presence. That's what it is. And so be grateful and thankful for it when it shows up. And then be grateful that you have the opportunity every moment of your life to nurture it. Maybe it is peace. Maybe it is love. Maybe it is community. Find whatever it is for you and then give it away. Give it away to everybody proactively. We're going to do that now as we enter a time of stillness and quiet. Michael's got a poem that he's going to read. But we're going to sing the chant, go into the silence, and at the end of the 2 minutes, as we have united with people around the world, Michael will read a poem, and Avra will lead us in a meditation. Peace, 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 peace on earth, peace on earth, peace, 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 for all the universe. We join right now as we sing. Peace, 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 peace on earth, peace, 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 for all the universe. Let us be the right person in the right place at the right time to create peace on earth in 2 minutes of silence. In those 2 minutes, light bulbs were going off all over the world. Divine ideas were remembered. They were recognized and they were demonstrated. And God saw that it was good. That maybe we have finally gotten it. And a little smile. Just a wry little smile on the corner of the proverbial face of God lifted. Stay in this place and receive this beautiful poem and this wonderful meditation.
No matter what part of the journey you happen to be upon, there always lay another step, another stone unturned. Beneath the stone you just turned. Rest, digest, then carry on. There are flames to be quenched from every fire that has burned, and ashes lead to questions as we assimilate what we've learned. It's like a compounding interest on all we have earned. Obtaining it is one thing. and sustaining it well. Sustaining is a meal that is never quite finished. For the feast of knowledge has infinite courses, served forever upon a placement of eternity. We must carry on, consume the splendor, walk the path. For each step we take brings us farther out of the desert of ignorance and further into the waters of wisdom. And the waters of wisdom expand into an ocean. And this ocean is endless, like the knowledge we seek. This is the largest part of the blessing. For the ocean quenches us as well as opens us to more. To believe you are there is to hesitate from the calling. To know yourself as complete is to deny yourself as complete. The essence of what we seek is in the seeking. The essence of our divinity desires for us to bathe in the mystery of its infinity. And this is not possible while we pursue it with a finite existence. We can only learn and grow as our infinite selves. I am honored to find the pieces and parts of all that I endlessly seek, for they constantly show me the pieces and parts that are constantly seeking me. Yes, my brothers and sisters, my tribe of the unified one. We are meant to gather these pieces separate, to freely give them away together. Just as the sun bejewels the morning by sprinkling light upon the day. It doesn't choose on who to shine, for it shines its rays on all. And none of us can be fully blessed with the light until the light has fully blessed us all. We must share the gifts we are given and help those who are seeking a way. For only together can we become one, and becoming one is the only way. So forever in gratitude we bathe in love, until love has bathed us all.
Peace, 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 peace on earth. Peace, peace, peace.
Remain in that space of stillness, of introversion and quietude. And from the inside, become aware of your body. If you haven't already done so, you can close your outer eyes and truly take a moment and feel the gift of being embodied. Start at the top of the head and just explore for a moment, letting awareness move around, encapsulate. Remember your three-dimensionality as you allow your awareness to descend over your face, but simultaneously the back of the head, the circumference of your neck, your shoulders, down your arms to the fingertips, and just pause for a moment and notice how sensitive or maybe insensitive the fingertips are. You cannot do this incorrectly. Now allow this awareness to return up to the shoulders and descend down your torso, your back, your chest, your abdomen. Again, remembering your three-dimensionality. Be aware of your spine, your heart, your abdomen. So many body parts working without our volition or awareness most of the time. Your pelvis, your legs, knees, lower legs, ankles, feet, toes. Right now, be aware of the whole body. For this one moment, the body is it. Be fully aware of being embodied. And now let this awareness shift into breath. And for a few moments, notice the ebb and flow of your breath. Breathe a little more deeply, a little more slowly and deliberately than our usual unconscious breathing pattern. As you exhale, really allow the breath to stretch. Savor it. See that it's good. And let that exhalation dissolve into the next inhalation without any pausing. Slow, smooth, serene breath. For this moment, now the breath is it. Be fully with it. Then bringing awareness deep into the center of your chest, once again, into the cave of the heart. Maybe you feel the beating of the muscle. Maybe you feel the warmth of your own indwelling presence. But go into it and find respite. Find rest. Find silence in the space between the thoughts, between the breaths, between the beats. Fall into it. You are it. Remain in that space. You are the silence at the center of consciousness. Remain aware of it as you reflect on the relative quietness of your mind at this time. Remain aware of that silence as you once again notice the smoothness of your breath. Stay awake to it as you feel the stillness of your body. Bring it back as you gently open your eyes.
Use me, God, for a purpose greater than myself. Show me how to take who I am and what I can do and to use it for a greater purpose than myself. It is then that we will be the hero. Yes, this world has plenty of stones and cracks in the way, and we have shoelaces that sometimes can come untied. That's part of being human. But if we stay awake and hold fast to the jewel in our hands, the dream, the good, and commit to giving it away, there will be peace on earth, because there will be peace within. There'll be peace in the community. There'll be peace in the state. There'll be peace in your Unity North family, and there will be peace in the nation, and there will be peace in the world. And we say thank you, God, that each and every one of us is playing our part in being the light of the world. Okay, everyone, take a deep, deep breath. Some of you might be thinking, oh, Richard needs to get some hand sanitizer, and so does Averill, now that we've exchanged a microphone. Yes, we'll go ahead and probably do that. But what has been exchanged here, what has been exchanged here, and what has been exchanged here is far greater than anything of human construct. Let's know that together. So again, I want to invite you to be mindful of your community. This building takes sustaining. It takes maintaining, and the way that we do that is to keep our generosity flowing, to be in that great flow of knowing that there's still bills to be paid. There's still staff that's working very, very hard behind the scenes. There's still streaming that needs to be in place so that we can get to you and connect with you. I invite you, if any of the ideas in our talk today resonated with you, to join Reverend Julie at 1:30 for a dialogue about that. Even stuff that you might disagree with, that's okay, because we welcome that. We're here at Unity North to get our questions answered, but also to get our answers questioned. And the question I have for you today is simply, how much was this worth to you today? We're going to take an offering right now. And I'm going to invite you to place a value upon what you've experienced today and the benefit of that, not just in this moment of an hour or in a few moments, but the benefit of the change and the shifts that can happen for you as a result of you taking the time to do this today. We appreciate your giving, and you can give through text. That's the best way to do it. Right now, we're not passing any baskets. Haven't learned how to do that through the airwaves yet. But we accept and receive with grateful hearts all generosity that is being expressed. To think of your church home and to know that we're still doing business the best way we know how. And I know you're doing the same. And so we're going to take this song, I Am So Blessed. I am so grateful. I'm grateful for all that I have. Let's sing this together as you hit that button and say thank you. Thank you, thank you to your spiritual community. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so, as a hero, sing it loud. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. invite you to go online and to vote for your board members. Take a look at those reports that Diane's going to be putting out on the webpage. Diane and Misty will be making sure you get those reports into your hand. And I challenge you and invite you to let light bulbs go off all week long. Let those ideas spring forth, that creative expression of God as you, to find new ways to express no matter what's going on the outside. Michael, thank you so much for the gift that you are, your heart, your spirit, your poetry. Averill, you are always a gift, and I'm so grateful for you. Let gratitude
I'm so grateful
live.
for you.
We belong to each other. We've got a mutual admiration society going on here. So let gratitude be that which allows that jewel to get into the hands of those who are needing it. We end with the song, and I thank you. I thank you for the love you give to me, and I thank you for the love you let me be. We're not going to hold hands here. We're going to be mindful. And I thank you. Yes, I thank you for the love you give to me. And I thank you. Yes, I thank you for the love you let me be. Don't forget to comment before we close the stream down. Comment on there what you liked, what you think might be different, and how something resonated with you. Put that in there. Brandy made sure to tell me that she wanted to make sure we were talking to each other while this was going on. And I thank you, yes, I thank you for the love you give to me. And I thank you, yes, I thank you for the love you let me be. And I thank each and every one of you. You are our family. Have a blessed and beautiful week. Join us on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Joyce will be with us. Yayi Joyce and Michael Burke will be back. Have a blessed and beautiful week. God is our source. Yes. Still on there. I want to hear your hero stories. Reach out to me. Give me a text or an email. Let me know how you're being a hero this week.